With so many e-book readers and the number of e-books available these days, we might think that this is the end of the traditional paper book. That's exactly what Edwina Edwards, editor and publisher, thinks, and she has started a campaign to save the book. I interviewed Edwina about her motivation for starting the campaign. So, Edwina, why are you campaigning to save the book?
It's not just to save the book, but the whole book industry. Manufacturers, printers, designers, distributors, and the actual bookshops. The book as we know it today is made of paper with a cover and is the greatest invention ever. If we're not careful, it will disappear forever, leaving everyone reading electronic dots, or rather, not reading at all, and a lot of jobs and traditions will disappear forever.
Are you against technology then?
No, of course not. I am not against technology, but what I am is very concerned about the unquestioned rise of ebooks and ebook readers, their unquestioned popularity, the lack of caution. The situation is very clear. People will simply stop reading if all books are put on these electronic gadgets. They will not value books or authors. Look at what has happened to the music business.
That's true.
And just how many gadgets do we need in our daily lives? I agree that they can be great for looking up information, checking out the weather, watching a DVD, but reading? It's a different world. A great tradition that, in my opinion, simply does not translate to the plane of the high-tech. This is what our campaign is about. The preservation of a great tradition. It is about preserving the skill of careful reading and of reading for absolute pleasure, which we think can't be achieved electronically.
Yes, some people say it's difficult to read for a long time from an electronic screen.
That's right. Research shows that screens are great for visual information, but they are not good for conveying complex and abstract thoughts and ideas. In other words, written text. It's not easy to read from a screen, and I am sure that, for most people, the last thing you want to do after a day of work with the computer is to read a bestseller on another machine. That's why we think the rise of ebooks risks the death of reading altogether.
But don't you agree that e-books can be good for the environment with fewer trees being cut down to produce paper books?
Well, no. I think that's a bit of a false argument. You still need a lot of energy to produce the machines and the special metals and minerals that the manufacture of ebooks requires, which, unlike wood, are not renewable. Ebook readers themselves also need to be powered with electricity. It is true that traditional books need a lot of paper, but more and more publishers are using recycled paper now.
So what is your message to book readers?
A paper book is something very special and unique with its own personality. You can take it to bed, put it on a shelf, share it. I'm frightened that being able to put hundreds of books on one machine will mean that each one will lose its own unique identity, and that would be such a shame. I also worry that the next generation may forget how to love and enjoy individual books, real paper books that have been central to our culture and education for thousands of years.